Let me tell you about my 2021 collection. So this year it was all about the allure and the mystique of James Bond girls. It doesn't really matter what movie you're referencing. I just feel that they're all gorgeous and memorable. So what I did was, it was a case of taking my usual clean lines and minimal cuts, and then I bonded that with some really beautiful delicate details like a velvet snowdrop tulle, and I used some soft, really sexy ash grey and silver tones to come up with a collection that was subtle yet really high impact on the wedding day. I think the future of bridal shows could be pretty non-existent for the moment. I mean, I really admire the optimism that the wedding industry has as a whole, but for people like me that have to travel halfway across the world to put in a showing, I'm just not sure how long it's going to take until we feel comfortable traveling on an airplane for 15, 17 hours again. I'm really not sure how comfortable I am with that. I do think the idea of having a large wedding is going to change. The positive I see from this is that with COVID happening at the moment, it's kind of brought everyone back down to the ground. So rather than the idea of bigger is better and more publicity, more coverage, whatever, I think it's really forcing people to think about what's important about the wedding and what are the must-have elements rather than how many elements can we have. I don't think the big weddings will ever stop. I mean, that really comes down to budget, and for girls that have a budget, I mean, by all means do it. A big wedding can be really amazing. I just think the reasons that are behind getting married, or the reasons of why people are wanting to put on a wedding, I think the reasoning behind that will be stronger and have more meaning. I have thought of ways to reach new brides, which is not a new thought. I just feel that now might be the right time to do it. I am going to experiment with a ready-to-wear collection that's going to sell alongside my made-to-order line. And I'm doing that because I want to offer the same signature qualities that are in the current line, but I do want to make them more readily available to brides that are looking for quality gowns at a lower price point, and also brides that need a quick turnaround time. So I think this will cater to an array of post-COVID brides, and also the pre-COVID brides that kind of had to really think quick and improvise and make sudden changes.
I'm Rikke Gudnitz, and I'm a Danish wedding designer, having my own company called Gudnitz Copenhagen. My inspiration for my new collection is a combination of Christian Dior in the mid-50s and the Scandinavian understated elegance. I use the asymmetrical, simple classic lines from the 50s, where you have a long train and yet the skirt is still short in the front. In that way you can showcase your beautiful shoes and also choose a shoe that makes a statement, for example a blue shoe. If you combine these lines with the Scandinavian clean and sophisticated lines, you can emphasize the beautiful shape of the bride and add dramatical details such as a voluptuous organza shoulder or an oversized pearl embellishment. I have also added pockets in my ball gowns, again to give the dresses a more modern and a Scandinavian edge. With this combination, I can achieve an elegant, timeless look with a touch of glamour in a contemporary design. In terms of wedding fairs, I'm afraid the interest will be smaller each year. I think we'll continue to see a lot of bridal inspiration online. The modern bride already makes her research on various platforms such as Pinterest, closed groups on Facebook and Instagram. And this way she can get inspiration from all over the world while sitting at home and even make her own mood boards. It's interesting to see how the future weddings will be after the coronavirus. I think in the next couple of years we will see smaller and more intimate weddings where the focus is on the near family and close friends. Our way of thinking has changed, and so has our values. And that leads me to how we designers also have to change our mindset in the future regarding production overseas and how much stock we're willing to have. I've closed my big production overseas and made a completely new strategy. Now I have two collections. One is the couture collection that are made to measure, and the other collection is like a ready-to-wear collection where you choose a dress from the rail and then get it fitted by a tailor. But we don't have any dresses in stock. Only one of each hanging on the rail, so when a style is sold, we'll make a new one for the rail. For me, it's all about no waste and looking after the environment. And the most important thing is working towards a more sustainable way to run my company.
Dare to be different, dare to be wonderful, dare to be happy, dare to be colorful, dare to be honest and true to one another, dare to stay in it and be proud of yourself. Dare to be different, dare to be wonderful, dare to be happy, dare to be colorful, dare to be honest
Hi, Cinémoi TV, it's Savannah Miller here. Just wanted to check in with you guys and let you know how I'm weathering this pandemic. And I've been very fortunate because I live in England and we've had incredibly beautiful weather. So that's really helped to keep my spirits up. But on the flip side, in business, I'm just trying to be incredibly creative, think outside the box, think how I can connect with my brides as much as possible via Instagram and other modes of social media that they're all using, and to just communicate with them on a human-to-human level about the challenges they're facing with their dates that might have been changed, or trying to meet their needs because obviously they can't go shopping as they would have done. And so far so good. We've had a really positive response from our retailers, and we've had a really positive response from our brides. I think at times like this, we all just have to hold tight, focus on what's important, take care of each other, try to stay safe and healthy and well, and hopefully we will all emerge stronger and better off for it. I think the future is definitely going to be challenging for everybody, no doubt, but I'm sure that we will all, with a concerted effort, get back on our feet and do all we can to get businesses back to where they were and health back to where it was. And we just have to stay as positive as we can, do all we can to focus on that. This is really important, that we stay home, we stay safe, and there's a reason we're all having to do this. So it's bigger than anything we could ever possibly have imagined, and we just have to ride the storm. Stay well.
Hey everybody, it's Justin of Justin Alexander, and I'll be answering a few questions for you today. But first I wanted to express my sympathies for those that have been affected directly by the coronavirus, whether it be a transmission of virus or a family member getting the virus. My sympathies are with you, and I'm so sorry for what you're going through. Also want to express sympathies for our brides that have also had to postpone or can't even cancel their weddings in some cases. And we want you to know that we're here for you, and we're really looking to help you through these times. So just reach out if you have any questions that we can answer and help you with. Obviously, it's drastically different how we're working right now. All of our design team members are displaced in different areas now. Our sales team is not as active, of course. And our bridal boutiques are not really open. Some of them are opening and operating with virtual consultations, and we're partnering with them to help them in any way possible. But it's very different now. Obviously, it's kind of come to a standstill in many ways, but at the same time, we're keeping busy trying to improve our services, improve our offering, and reach out to brides and see if we can help them, reschedule the delivery of their dresses or in any way possible. I'll be also performing virtual consultations for brides just to see if I can help pair them with the dress of their dreams. So it's different. I mean, it's really on pause, but we're really looking forward to the time where we can work one-on-one with brides in person, and when our bridal shops are all able to, open up around the world. I do believe that in the next, 3 to 6 months, I think this will mostly be behind us. I think during that time, I see trends changing a little bit and buying habits changing. I do expect that brides are going to be looking for slightly more economical choices, and that's okay. I do expect them to go a little bit more informal, and that could be because, I'm sure the events will be a little bit smaller in size if you want to get married immediately after the pandemic is kind of winding down. But I do expect things to return to normal for our boutiques and, of course, for brides. So I'm very optimistic about the future, and that, all the postponed, canceled weddings will be able to be rescheduled in 2021. So I'm very optimistic about the future of bridal. I think that we're all going to want to celebrate. We're going to want to get together with family and friends and celebrate love, because, it's very important to, look at all the positives that I think this is really bringing people together, and we're really going to want to celebrate and get together when this is all behind us.
Dawn was inspired by Frida Kahlo, and we took elements of what she had with the braids, with the flowers, and then with the hair down and loose to make it more modern. Frida was kind of known for her center part, really slicked down, so we kept that element through the hair, and with her two braids, we kept the braids onto the side, and we brought it to the middle, and then just crossed the braids, and then just whatever you have in your garden.
Dawn wanted the inspiration to draw from Frida's inspiration for the flowers, so the fuchsia color. So him and I had first decided on a stain, either in the fuchsia or berry family. So I used a MAC pencil on the outside to define the lip, and then a lipstick by Pat McGrath Labs. So something a bit lighter in the center and something a bit darker on the outside creates dimension on stage. The eye is just something to enhance the natural shape. So we created a winged liner, and if you look at all the girls, each girl's eye is a little bit different. We wanted the skin to look like the girl's skin. On your wedding day, you want to look like yourself. So we definitely went with a more natural approach to give that glowing effect.
I've always been a huge fan of Frida Kahlo, and then seeing the exhibit in Brooklyn earlier this year just blew my mind away. Not only seeing her wardrobe and her sense of style, but I learned more about her personal battles, her inner strength. She was a formidable woman with a lot of challenges. She overcame those challenges with beauty and grace and dignity, and for me that was the flashpoint that started this collection. Frida Kahlo, she had a very specific look, and I didn't want to be too literal in the interpretation for the collection, but there is a look that the volume, the ruffles that I wanted to bring to the show, which you'll see. She was quite the extraordinary woman. And then the finale gown is this magnificent, we call it the Kahlo, it's this gorgeous fuchsia organza gown. It's such a magnificent, vibrant punch of colour for that bride that really wants to stand apart, which would have been Frida. The obvious reference is Frida, but I've had these women in my life and felt this was the perfect moment to finally represent them on the runway.